There's a disturbance, dissatisfaction, some sensation that motivates a man to go to a teacher or to read a book about philosophy or believe something or do yoga. What we ordinarily think of as spirituality or religion is a way to get free of that suffering, that sensation that motivates it. So all paths, yogic methods, forms of seeking belief, religion, grow out of this sensation, this subtle suffering. And ultimately all these paths are attempting to get free of that sensation as a goal. So all men are seeking, whether they're very sophisticated about it, using very specific methods and whatever, yoga, psychology, lunch, health food, whatever it is. When that whole process of seeking begins to break down, the man no longer quite has the edge of his search left. He begins to suspect himself, he begins to doubt the whole process of his search. And he's no longer fascinated with his search, his method, his yoga, his religion, his teacher. His attention begins to turn to the sensation itself that motivates his search. When a man begins to recognize that subtle motivation, this is what I've called understanding. When he begins to see again a subtle form of his own action that is his suffering, I've simply called that understanding, that recognition. When it becomes absolute, perfect, when there is utterly, absolutely no dilemma, no form in consciousness interpreting the nature of existence to the man. When there is no contraction, no suffering, nothing prior to consciousness. This is what I've called radical understanding. And this radical understanding as enjoyment is what the traditions call the self, the heart, God union, Satori, Nirvana, heaven. But it is simply consciousness. There is nothing prior to consciousness. You're not some form of piece of divinity seated inside the body. It somehow has to go back, get released from the body, and go back to its spiritual home, its union with God. There's no such entity. there is consciousness, and the apparent entity is within consciousness. So that when consciousness begins to enjoy its own state, even in the midst of conditions, apparent conditions, that's understanding. When no matter what event appears, when there is only the enjoyment of consciousness itself, not transformed, not modified by events, when no implication arises on the basis of events to change the nature of consciousness, that is meditation. When there's only the enjoyment of consciousness, that is called liberation. And all of that is simply understanding.